Let's go, Arkansas fans. It looks as if you have your next coach in Alex Golesh. So, what do you make of this? And is this actually even going to happen? Because there are reports out there that this thing is not signed, it is not sealed, it is not delivered. In the words of Stevie Wonder, we are still in a position where we don't know what is actually going to happen on the Hill. So, I will tell you, before last night, I got a call from someone I trust. And they said, Carter, Kane Womack is going to be the next head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. And I said, well, how do you know this? And he said, well, Kane wants a job really badly. Arkansas is ready to go in a defensive direction. When you look at Arkansas, they've mostly been offensive coaches, from Petrino to Morris to obviously Sam, and now with Bobby as the interim. So, do they go in that direction? Is this an opportunity for Arkansas to potentially dodge a bullet? Because I've seen many prominent Arkansas media members, including Josh Teeter, say, hey, look at Alex Golesh' record versus the actual better teams, including Memphis, who Arkansas couldn't beat earlier this season. What do you make of this? Well, this has been Golesh's best season. They only had 3 losses. The first couple of seasons, they were barely over 500. The one thing he's going to bring is a good run game. He is going to bring the Tennessee spread out, air raid offense that I love, that I think could fit with the Arkansas Razorbacks. I will also say there are quite a few Arkansas schools that run that style of offense. So it is an offense that I think could win if you don't have the elite talent. That's part of the thought process of this. You look at some of the more basic, while at the same time per rush metrics, which are better than when you're looking at like total rushing yardage and all of that. USF is top 10 in all college football when it comes to yards per rush. You look at throughout his tenure, there's only been one season dating back to the 2 years he was the offensive coordinator at Tennessee, where you look at Arkansas, you should get excited about this. He is never outside of the top 40 when it comes to yards per rush. But for me, when you look even deeper down into some of the advanced metrics, a guy by the name of Dave Bartu is a really good friend of mine. This is a guy that does this thing called coaching effect. He honestly consults quite a few athletic directors when it comes to head coaching hires. I know of a few of the moves that he has made, some of which has worked, some of which haven't, right? As far as his consulting is concerned. And he tweeted out earlier today that Alex Golesh has a -6 coaching effect, which means there are 6 games that he feels, and I don't know if the coaching effect is like individual games, but he feels he has performed under expectation. So if you were to choose between the two, I probably would have preferred Eric Morris over Alex Golesh, but he has obviously gone to Oklahoma State. Now, what we don't know is if uh, Eric Morris chose Oklahoma State over Arkansas. One thing I will say as far as Alex is concerned, he is a very ambitious guy. So yesterday he was speaking to the media members of USF, and he was saying, hey, I'm committed to making this work here at USF. So now, is he truly deciding, hey, I kind of want to go back to USF? I don't want to go to Arkansas. There are quite a few people who view Arkansas as a dead-end job. One thing that I feel is very interesting is that according to Ross Dellinger, Arkansas has interviewed 20 different people. 20. Do you know how hard it is to interview 20 different people at an SEC job and not have an overwhelming yes? It could just be that you're interviewing people and you weren't impressed and you didn't actually offer them the job. That very well could have been the case. But I will tell you this. There was so much Kane Womack's team yesterday. And I will tell you that I do believe Kane still wants his job. So we shall see what happens there. Okay, let's get to some of your comments. Jack Stockton 1011 says, I still believe I can right the ship. My Hawks dynasty is in glory days in 2035. There you go. Well, come on, Jack. Get your ass to Fayetteville and get the job done. How about that? Donkey Burger Bandit. I would love a donkey burger right now. That sounds pretty good. Absolute trash can hire. Trash can. He's done nothing to show people that people at Arkansas should be excited about the hire. Okay. So I've been going through this. As many of you know, the live shows on this channel have gone down. And part of that is because, film studies is what most of you tune into. But this is my favorite thing to do. I love doing Arkansas live streams. And this, to me, blows my mind when it comes to dissecting logic when it comes to a head coaching candidate. So let's take Kirby Smart, for instance. Kirby Smart was unproven. He had never been a head coach before he got to Georgia. So this bad record at USF with Alex is a data point that Kirby Smart didn't have to deal with. Same thing with Dan Lanning when he went to Oregon. Sometimes you just don't know. For me, Eric Morris would have been the guy. That's the direction I would have gone in. I also like Alex. I do. I think wins and losses are a very bad indicator from time to time with certain college football coaches. What are the circumstances? What conference are you in? What are you dealing with? All right. I think it's always difficult to win at any of the Florida programs. Okay. I really do think so. Sam Pittman 2.0, it's a little too harsh. Now let's go to Jack Stockton. He says, I'm already in Fay, freshman at UARC. What is UARC? I've never heard of UARC before. UARC? Come on. I'm kidding. What is what's the main hall in Fayetteville? Is it Pomfrey? Whatever. I don't know. Donkey Burger Bandit, whose first initial is K. I have no idea. I believe your name is Kane, and you play quarterback for Greenwood, and your burner is Donkey Burger Bandit. Congrats on your commit to Utah. That was interesting. I'm not super excited about mediocrity. I just feel it's not a big enough splash to excite the boosters. Okay, well, if you want to excite the boosters, go hire John Gruden. You want to get boosters excited? There were some that wanted Gruden. Okay. I want to show you this from Blutman, a big college football insider at Barstool Sports. Okay. So he knows people. As you've seen, Arkansas Golesh isn't final yet. Not to say it won't happen, but right now he has it signed. As I stated the other day, he's a top option for the Ole Miss job if Kiffin leaves. Arkansas news was not supposed to get out. One side is not exactly happy about it. All right. So I hate to say, and I was joking. I knew that, but I appreciate you go all the way back to the KJ Kendall days. They were the best duo. When they were cooking, they were the best duo in the SEC. Okay. I know it's not aged well with the Jefferson side of things. Okay. If y'all want a flaming hot take, if y'all want one on Thanksgiving Eve, would you like one? Okay. Y'all going to start calling this show Wacky Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving Thursday, and Friday is black. Okay. Why wouldn't you hire Kendall Browse? I'm serious. Why wouldn't you do it? Well, it depends if you have morals. If you have morals, then you don't go hire Kendall Browse. Because obviously, when you deal with the last name Browse, which is in the news again, he's obviously the daddy Browse, who is done some nefarious things. He's going to coach at a D2 job. When he was going to Grambling, cancel culture was real with Art Briles. There's not many people who are great at one thing that are truly canceled, but Art has been canceled. I don't think Kendall's ever going to get hired as a head coach. I really don't. All this guy does is average 6 yards per play every year. Do you know how hard it is to average 6 yards per play every year? Okay. But that wouldn't be the move that I would make if I was Arkansas because of that. Okay. I wouldn't touch it. Now, thank you for the super chat. We say hi to Football99. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to May IEC 9426. What do I think of keeping Bobby and hiring Justin Wilcox as defensive coordinator? This is probably my hottest take. I probably would have just kept Bobby Petrino. I'm serious. Now, why would I do that? Well, number one, it's affordable. All right. I think doing the 1-year rental with Bobby Petrino would have been worth it for this next season. All right. He is older. I think he would have accepted it. I think you getting into the coaching hiring cycle is really hurting you right now. I do feel Kane Womack would take the job if given to him, but that's kind of a rare circumstance where Kane, of course, played at Arkansas. There's not a whole lot of people jumping at the bit to take the Arkansas job. But one thing I would say though is with Bobby, you have accomplished the hardest thing to do in college football, which is move the football at a high level. And when you really break things down, all right, the Memphis loss shouldn't have happened. All right, so you're really a 3-win team. All right, Mike Washington, who's your best player, fumbled. That's random. And then, of course, there was the bad offensive pass interference call missed, and then the holding call that would have put the game away on the Taylor Green touchdown. But Bobby's done his job well. I probably would have just kept him and just gotten a good DC to go along with it. Because with Golesh, and I want to shout out these guys, I'm telling you, they do not have a big following, but it's two of my favorite things put together. And the name of this account is called Arkansas Quaint. All right. And I'll put them up on the screen here in a second. All right. So they're kind of like me. I have Arkansas ties, as many of you know. Even though I'm an LSU guy, I'm always open with who I am. I don't think you should lie about that. But all my closest friends live in Fayetteville. I've had lunch with Arkansas boosters in this past year, and I'm very fortunate that I have people that care about my opinion on the Arkansas Razorbacks. And what's interesting about this is you look at these games and you look at Bobby Petrino. What else could he have done about some of these games other than fix this horrendous defense? All right. So we have this, the Arkansas interim defensive coordinator, Chris, whatever his name is. You have the story of him playing around, hitting a player, whatever. What's the deal with these coaches hitting players? We already had that with Florida earlier this year, hitting an LSU player, which is still the wildest thing to me that guy was not fired. But Arkansas with a semi-decent defense is you give Arkansas Florida's defense or LSU's defense, you're probably knocking on the door of the playoff. So I don't understand why you wouldn't at least think about running it back. But if you think it is a cultural rot issue and you really need fresh blood to come in and revitalize everything, then I get that as well. And that's where I am weak because I am not in the building every day. All right. Only those people can answer that thing. Then something else I really, really, really don't like about this hiring cycle for Arkansas and why I would seriously consider Bobby Petrino is that there are a lot of prominent people at Arkansas that understand the hierarchy of things. All right. It is not good that you kept Sam this extra year. And now you're in the midst of a hiring cycle where LSU is open, Ole Miss is open, potentially, Penn State's open, Auburn's open, Florida's open. You guys know that. But here's the thing. Alex Golesh is a hot name. All right. And if anyone that lives in Arkansas, If you've lived in the Natty State for some damn reason, there's a bunch of hot redheads here. I don't understand it. I don't get it. There are some beautiful looking redhead folks. Call this state the gingerbread state. I don't care. And Alex Golesh is a ginger. He is a redhead that is going to come in with a lot of energy, a lot of fight. The dude is feisty. Those post-game handshakes are visceral. Here's the thing. Even though Alex Golesh would fit in with all the other good-looking redheads in the state, and his wife, of course, is from Northwest Arkansas, and that seems fine and dandy. Well, Alex Golesh also is from the Tennessee tree. And guess what? Even though Tennessee's not won anything big, don't you think Florida would be interested in saying, hey, this guy's already beaten us in our state? As you guys saw with the film study that we released earlier today. Then, Alex Golesh can flat out recruit the state. USF's got good players. They've got a Taylon Green guy who's not as fast, but also doesn't turn the football over. And Byron Brown, fun quarterback, number 17, great player. 6 is a really good receiver for him. He doesn't wear knee pads, but he's a good player. Okay. Oh, okay. So this guy's coming in hot saying Carter Seabow, which stands for shut yo. And then you call me a loser. You call me a loser. You're coming in hot and you call me a loser? At least put your face to it, bro. And call me a loser. Would you say that in my face? Here's my face. It's right here. Would you say it to me? You have a chance to say it to me right here. Let's go to Donkey Burger Bandit. Should Arkansas go all in trying to hire Coach Orgeron for defensive coordinator? Yeah, okay. You would be shocked how often I get asked this, all right, because of 2 things. Number 1, Coach O is an all-time great recruiter. And honestly, no matter how you want to, whatever your opinion is of him, and I have a lot of them when it comes to Coach O, he will go down in the history books as the greatest coach of the greatest team of all time. Okay? He was a coach of the best team of all time. Take that for what it's worth. But he is not a coordinator. He has never called plays before. So you do not want him being your defensive coordinator. Now, if you want to give him $1 million to run the recruiting department as a defensive line coach, it's not a terrible option. He is dying to get back into coaching. And one thing Orgeron has always done in his interviews, he has always had a glowing review of his time at Arkansas in the late 80s. Okay. Average says, I'm like the president. I don't trust a Russian. Oh, boy. Well, I probably shouldn't have put that comment up because, like, YouTube nukes any political channel. And I am not a political channel. And this is not a comment towards president or anything like that. But that comment could go in a lot of different directions. But he is right. Golesh is a Russian. Okay. But I don't know. I don't know what else. So is Alexander Ovechkin. And he's done well in the States. Okay. Oh, Manny, I see. You're going to do this. You're going to do. Oh, man. Okay. Let's do this. Miami 2001, USC 2004, or 2005 Texas is better than 2019. I'm not going to do this. This isn't what this stream is about. I think the last thing Arkansas fans would want to do, because I'm already punching upwards. I'm a proud LSU graduate that played high school football in Arkansas. Love the state of Arkansas. The last thing you want during a coaching search is for me to brag about 2019 LSU. Okay? And I'm not going to do it. Because you do not want to be put into a body bag in this argument. Because I have the data. But what I would say, if you want to get into the all-time team debate, Mike Greenberg who is the least Louisianian I have ever met. And the funny thing is, I worked with Greeny at the Super Bowl all the way back in 2011 with ESPN Radio. And he's a swell fella. But he is the least Louisianian to ever step foot in the state of Louisiana. He would tell you, go look up his rant about 2019 LSU, and your opinion on that mumbo jumbo is not valid. Okay. Yeah, I can't put up people with the political stuff. I don't know why, but I'll read your comment. I'll take Golesh. Hell, I thought we could do worse. I was a Gruden fan. Guess we'll see. Yeah, I'm a Gruden guy too. I'm as in like I'm a fan of him. I don't know if that's the decision that I would make, but it is. You could make an argument. Okay. 2020 Alabama is up there. All right, so let me go to this account from earlier, and he would love nothing more than you guys to go follow him. I really do like him. Once again, his name is Arkansas Quaint. I don't know how this doesn't have more followers than me. All right. Arkansas Quaint. They live in New York City, but they're from the state of Arkansas. And I've gotten to know these guys. They're really nice. All right. They're analytical wizards. You're very lucky to have one of these. I wish there was an analytical wizard that did LSU content. That lives in Manhattan. And by the way, New York City is the best city in America. Okay. And even that, people will make it political. I really do love New York City that much. Okay. Now let's go to what Arkansas Quaint had to say. All right. And true story, I've used their data for some of my breakdowns as well. And I do think they're elite. Golesh will not succeed without a different DC than what he's had at USF. Arkansas 2026 to 2029 schedules will be top 15 SOS, which means strength of schedule every year. Strong likelihood one of them may be the toughest strength of schedule ever faced in CFB. Okay. Imagine already being the record you have, and then now you're playing LSU on rivalry weekend. There hasn't been a team in the last 15 years to win 8 or more regular season games against a top 15 strength of schedule without having a combined offense plus defensive rank less than 50. Golesh's offense will be fine, but his success is entirely dependent on an elite DC, and the one he's had at USF took 3 years to field a decent defense. Okay. So these are the defense coordinators he's after. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I don't know every one of these names. Blake Baker's not happening. That's LSU's defensive coordinator. Phil Parker is not happening. All right. So those two names are definitely not happening. Phil Parker is the Iowa defensive coordinator. He's never leaving there. He's probably the best defensive coordinator in the sport. Blake Baker, no. He did mention a Venables disciple. Sure. Ryan Walters would be interesting. That's a former DC of Illinois who went on to Purdue. And I think where is he right now? I don't know. DJ Durkin would be interesting. So if you could get Alex Golesh, and let's say Auburn goes and gets John Summerall from Tulane, and Summerall wants to bring in his new guy to coach a defense, DJ Durkin would be the absolute number one hire I would make if I were LSU. I say LSU. Well, if I was LSU as well, if they decided to do something with Blake Baker. I think of these names on this list, I would, I'm taking Blake Baker out for bias. I would rank Phil Parker number 1, but he's never leaving there. DJ Durkin number 2. I think Jim Leonard would be a fun DC. All right, so Jim Leonard has never really been in the South, but he has NFL pedigree, and he's young, he's entertaining, and he's all about ball. But he's a Northern guy. I'm a little shocked, and I do think Leonard would be motivated because there was a lot of push for him to be the Wisconsin head coach, and they went with the Cincinnati legend, Luke Fickell, and it's not worked out. Okay. Could you argue that 2020 Alabama is up there with the best teams of all time? Yeah, but Jack, this is where it gets really weird with like the all-time great teams, is that And by the way, I'm an iced coffee addict. 7 Brew is an Arkansas company. They should sponsor the channel. Okay, let's talk about the 2020 Alabama team. It was a COVID season. Now, there's pros and cons to their argument because they played an all SEC schedule. But where it falls short is the 2019 version of Alabama was arguably better than the 2020 version of Alabama. And I'm not the only one that has said this. There's been Alabama players that have said this. Where the all-time great debates fall short is the other teams don't have Joe Burrow. All right. But we move on. Kevin, who's been one of our most diehard live stream viewers. I do not get the hate for Golesh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Bobby is the right play. The Hill has fumbled this as bad as Taylor Green does a football. BP is not that guy. He's not won anything since 2011 with his own players, with his own staff. Let's go to, what's up, JD? Are you the same from the PHL network? Let's go. Get this. Some vocal Arkansas fans are wanting Petrino. He is currently 0-7, and we're about to be 2-10. Plus, he basically hasn't won in over 12 years. Only with some Arkansas fans does this happen. All right. So here's the argument for Petrino. As someone who does LSU football content, if Bobby Petrino was made available, and let's just say LSU whiffs on Lane Kiffin, and they go hire a defensive guy, or they go hire Eli Drinkwitz or someone like that, I would love for LSU to have Bobby Petrino as its OC. He's that good of a play caller. Now, I understand what a lot of you would say. Hey, Carter, it's head coaching and play calling are different things. And Bobby is an obtuse person, as many of you know. You know, one thing that kind of flew under the radar was Bobby and T. Will did not get along. Now, it might have been documented elsewhere, but they, and I do think firing T. Will was justified, but at the same time, I don't know. It's not worked out. It's gotten worse, honestly. And I don't think it could get worse in the Notre Dame game, but it's gotten there. It really hasn't changed a whole lot, but like this was just an all-time bad Arkansas defense. And yeah, I mean, if you would have given Bobby last year's defense, they probably win a game or two here. And then, of course, Talon threw the game away against Auburn, and the LSU game was a game that you probably should have won. But at the same time, sometimes you just got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, we're cursed. And that's what you have to do sometimes as an Arkansas fan. You do have Calipari, you still have Dave Van Horn, but, you know. Let's go to Long Yena. And I'm trying not to rant too much. I want you guys to be the center of this. All right. Because I have a few other things I want to get to tonight as far as Arkansas is concerned and the Missouri game coming up. People don't know that Golesh had top NIL support at USF. He has had top recruiting classes last 2 years and still not won the conference. Yeah, I want to go to this wasn't his tweet. But this is from, and I like Josh Teeter a lot. Do not know Josh. I know quite a few people in the Arkansas Media Corps. And by the way, before I share this, we are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of my guy Bob Holt dying. And I wasn't really that close to Bob, but every time at SEC Media Days, he was always so kind to me. And every time I saw him in the press box, we would talk. And, you know, it's just not the same, man. Arkansas Media is just not the same with old Bob Holt. Miss old Bob. And here we go. Golesh's record against each American Conference opponent. $10 million roster. Amazing facilities and location. Year 3 as a head coach. 12-10 conference record. If you wanted someone that could lose to Memphis, why wouldn't you have just hired Bobby Petrino, everyone? He's 0-3 against Memphis. 0-1 against Tulane. 1-2 against Navy. But he is undefeated. 3-0 versus the Charlotte 49ers. And 2-1 versus Florida Atlantic. Let's go to another USF account. Jeff Scott, the worst coach ever, was 0-16 versus conference opponents with winning records in 3 seasons. Alex is 1-7 versus conference opponents. Now, imagine Golesh's record in the old ACC. By the way, there was realignment when they were still in that conference, or playing 8 more games versus teams above 500. Okay. Let's go to Germboat 44. You are such a bummer. Like you take advantage of our excitement for views, but then speak in this condescending, patronizing tone. All right. And I'm glad you called me out on this, Germboat 44. Okay. And guess what? That's probably rooted in some truth. But here's the thing, Germboat, and I will say this to everyone. I am not in this to get anyone excited about anything. If that's the case, go to Arkansas's Facebook accounts. Go to the Hogville message boards. You'll find plenty of people positive. All right. I'm not here to hold your hand and tell you everything's going to be great. Okay. I will tell you once again, since we did get an influx of viewers here, and I'm not calling you out because there's a lot of people that do feel the same way you feel, Germboat. I'll give you all the positives here, and then I'll talk about some of the negatives. But I'm not trying to be patronizing at the same time. All right. I'm just like you. I have friends that have coached and played at Arkansas. So, first thing, Alex comes from the Tennessee offensive background, which allows you to move the football in creative ways with lesser talent. All right. The problem with the offense is that it is very simple. And if you got dudes and you can man up these dudes, you're going to run into issues. Okay? So that's a problem. The second thing I like about Alex is he is a very confident guy. He is someone that quite a few people want him to be his head coach. But the downsides are the downsides. And those downsides that I showed you aren't from me. It's from a guy that Josh Teeter is a student, or he was a student in the student section. Okay. But yeah, I mean, if I wanted the most views, I would just be doing Lane Kiffin stuff right now. But I'm passionate enough about this program, and Emicat knows this. He's one of my LSU folks. But I'm glad you called me out, and I want every one of you to hold me accountable for anything that I say. Okay. So it's funny, you have these comments back to back. JD Hall says, "Hey Carter, I've become a big fan. You're one of my favorite podcasts. Keep up the great work." My goal here is to push things to the limit while also trying to be as fair as I possibly can. All right. If I wanted the most views, I would say, yeah, this is an absolute gazillion % certain slam dunk hire, or I would say this is the absolute worst thing imaginable. Okay. But I hope you keep coming back, Germboat. I really do. Now, before I get into this next Golesh thing, we broke down the Tulane game. I'd say the Tulane. We broke down the Florida game, film study a little bit earlier today. My aunt's in town. All right. And we're all congregated in the best. I'm in the best city in the state of Arkansas right now. That's where I am right now. Okay. I won't say where, some of you know, but my aunt is in town, and I worked out with her a little bit earlier today. She was pumping some iron. She's in her 70s, and she was crushing me on the gym weights, and I had to push the weight session back because of Trey Schatz's report. And I cut that film study, and now I'm here. And she's cooking up something really good at my mama's house. So this is how much I love you guys. And I got another show to do after this. This is how much I love you guys, Arkansas. This is it. I'm here. Putting the jambalaya to the side and talking tackle football. This is what I want to. I would not rather be anywhere else. Okay. But I do want to talk a little bit about the Missouri game. You realize we have a good or maybe great quality in KJ. It's kind of crazy that Arkansas was close to hiring another coach named Morris, and they're close to having another quarterback named KJ. Crazy how that works. Huh? So I want to talk a little bit about the Missouri game and how badly I think y'all are about to get your asses kicked. I'm kidding. Totally kidding. I didn't think Arkansas plays hard for Coach Petrino here. Ahmad Hardy is the best player on Missouri's team. They run the football well. They run a play called outside zone at an extremely high level, and they're good. They're a really, really good football team. Their 3 losses are to 3 really good football teams, and you're not a good football team. So just simple transitive properties would tell you, hey, Missouri's going to take care of business here. The one thing you got to be able to do is set the edge. They're going to run outside zone right at you. They're going to run it right to number 1 Lee. They're going to force number 14, who's not been a good backer for you all season. They're going to force you to make those tackles as they stretch those zone plays out. And what I think is going to happen in Arkansas is you're going to overcompensate for setting the edge, and that's going to open up vertical lanes for the outside zones to cut up vertically. So for that to not happen, you need your DTs to play really good, sound football. So they're really going to stress you out. Their wide receiver core is okay. It's not as good as it has been, obviously, with the Luther Burden and Theo Weiss over the past couple of seasons. So yeah, I mean, I think this is a good offense. Bo Prabula is okay. I don't know his health status going in. I probably should go check that out. And then you go to the defensive side of the football, and they're just good. They're a really good defense. Really strong at defensive end, which, of course, opens up a weakness for you with Emarion Harris and the right tackle situation at Arkansas, which has been tough all season. But, I've seen – we talked about Arkansas Quaint a little bit earlier. You get into how good this offensive line for Arkansas has actually been this year. He has done a really good job, Bobby, with this offensive line. Then you get into me, the more interesting thing that has happened is that Ben Mabenga commits. He's a 3-star at Buford. His older brother plays for LSU, and Ben commits to Eric Mateos. Why would he commit to Eric Mateos when he doesn't know what the head coaching situation is? So it looks like Eric Mateos will be back because this Arkansas offensive line has been really good this year outside of pass protection on the edges. All right, Carmona is a really good player. He'll be gone. And then, of course, you look at the defensive backfield for Missouri. Well, this is going to be kind of a sore subject. They did give up a pretty big game to Isaiah Satania last week. This is a secondary you can beat. All right, so Omega Blake, this could be you. All right, look out for Omega Blake on deep dig routes, in breakers. That's been one of Arkansas's most profitable routes this year. And then we get into, oh, hey, Bubs. And then we get into Taylon Green and KJ Jackson. All right. Who should start? Who should play? I think a lot of you want to see KJ just to see what the future looks like. Kind of reminds you of KJ Jefferson getting that 1 start versus Missouri a few years ago at Missouri where he balled out. KJ Jackson looked really good last week versus Texas. Bobby has talked him up both publicly and privately. He likes KJ a lot. I was a little shocked by that. I don't, based on what I've heard about Arkansas practices, it's not really been like a KJ Jackson show. But I from what I understand, Petrino likes KJ Jackson quite a bit. Even in the public interviews, you could tell he's being genuine. So yeah, it would be nice to see him get some run, the lefty. But you get into Taylor Green. What is it? 5 passing touchdowns, 6 INTs. It's just ridiculous, some of these turnovers. I mean, these turnovers have been so bad from a film perspective, because the turnovers can be weird where it could be a deflection, someone running a wrong route. I do think the Texas INT is a little overblown. I saw what he was trying to do. It just looks a lot worse. It was something he shouldn't have done, but he didn't toss it. His elbow got glanced on and it popped up weirdly in the air. But that kind of describes the Taylor Green experience, right? Excellent zone read quarterback, has gotten better with his reads and all that stuff, but it's still not great. Okay. Then we get into the thing that really pisses me off. All right. And I shouldn't say this because I like Jalen Catalon. He's an interesting guy. But no college football player should have 7 years of eligibility. I was still doing my local radio show in El Dorado, Arkansas, when I was talking about Jalen Catalon's high school film. And it has been 7 years. I mean, I'm telling you, Jalen Catalon was mentioned during Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. That's how long he's been playing college football. And he'll be suiting up on Saturday. Okay. Let's go to Tanker. Is this you, Tanker? You look like a beast, man. That's got to be a video game. If a name ever comes up before the season is over, discount that name to never getting the job. Anyone else is click farming. All right. Am I a click farmer? Are you saying I'm a click farmer? I wish I was single, because this would be the first time I'd ever be eligible to put up a profile on You Don't Have to Be Lonely at farmersonly.com. That would be fun, right? There'd be actual farmers in there, and then you see me. Well, what kind of crops do you farm? Clicks. Page views. Forget the corn. Forget the tomatoes. I got the good clicks. Let's go to Charles Bragg. Great commentary. All the way here from the Dirty Dell. Oh, man. To Hot Springs. LSU and Hogs native. So you go from the Dirty Dell to Hot Springs? Ooh. So you go from the dirties to the more dirties. You'll if you are ever in a pinch, you can go to one of those two towns, and there will be a Lucille there that can help your needs, if you know what I mean. But I love Slidell. I do. Not for that reason. My best friend Bryce lives in Slidell. He's got a beautiful family. He actually, he's got a good thing going there. And then I have friends in Hot Springs. Here's the thing, though. I remember going to, my buddy Casey. I ran into. I was dating someone else, not my wife, and I went to a bar. I don't even remember the bar in Hot Springs, and I was shellacked. Hot Springs folks, they drink like Louisianians. I understand why Elvis went there. I understand why Al Capone went there. They wanted to party. You don't think that. When you think Hot Springs, you think, yeah, they got pure water there, the Mountain Springs water. Well, you want to know why they have so much water there? It's because people got to stay hydrated. I mean, you can go to any bar, they'll be like, hey, here's a shot of a pink panty dropper, and would you like this moonshine out of my trench coat? I swear, dude, Hot Springs is nuts, dude. It is nuts. You've got to be careful. Oh man, I remember doing the stand-up shows in Hot Springs. Whew. I didn't do a lot of them. Crowds were rowdy, bro. Rowdy. Rowdy. They were so rowdy. And by the way, if you want to see me do stand-up, I got a show coming up January 16th in El Dorado, Arkansas. Come on. If you send me a DM, I'll get you a front row seat. Hit me up. Murphy Arts District. It's a beautiful venue. If you've never been, come on down to El Dorado. I'll introduce you to my wife, my dog. Bring all the dirty hot springers. Come on. There are some good comedians in Hot Springs, though. The Boot Scooters. Boot Scootin' Boogie. Let's go to Long. Yeah. Fun fact, both Arkansas and USF have the same 15 turnovers this year. Here's another fun fact. Both of those teams are top 10 in all of college football in yards per rush. Okay? So this would be my retort to the turnover thing. Turnovers are a volatile statistic, right? It's one of those things that aren't really sticky. What is sticky, though, are the good teams that are good at running the football normally are the good teams that are running the football year over year. Lane Kiffin, every year, elite at running the football. Eli Drinkowitz, every year, elite at running the football. All right. Bobby Petrino, every year, elite at running the football. All right. Well, who are their running backs? Well, how many of the running backs would you say are like just elite transcendent talents that could run anywhere? How many McFadden's and those types of guys have those three names actually had? I mean, one maybe with Judkins as like a special running back. Hardy's probably special. So USF has had an elite rushing attack. Outside of the first year Golesh was there, their yards per rush has been really good, and this is the best it's been. Okay. Well, if he's having second thoughts, he's not signed. Signature's not on paper. Okay. All right, here's what we're going to do. Next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to answer as many as we possibly can. If you super chat, we'll keep this party moving. You don't have to be. Man, that's going to be stuck in my head all night. I want to go back to Hot Springs so bad. I like Hot Springs. They got like a little dessert spot there now. Or well, they did when I went like a while ago. And I remember getting some cupcakes and there was like a mountain next to it or something like that. Now, what I need you to do, and whoever gets the most comments, whoever gets most of these, whoever gets the most likes on this, you will win. All right. As you guys know, when I do the film studies, I'll say like third in a small Arkansas town. I need to know which small Arkansas town I'm going to say in the next video. I love this state. I do. I love the natural state. It is kind of ironic, though, that in a state that's called the natural state, there's a lot of plastic surgery going on in the state. Okay. There's a lot of unnatural activities going on. Oh, man. And for some reason, there's been like, my wife watches all these murder documentaries. There's been like at least 5 different crazy murders. And the one that has really pissed me off. So I lost my father-in-law earlier this year. He is the biggest Arkansas fan of all time. And he and his wife, Baby Cakes, they would go visit Devil's Den all the time. And then my favorite YouTuber is a guy, lives in Arkansas. His name is Tonio Guardado. Tonio, dude. Freaking love Tonio. I tried to do some Tonio style videos. Great YouTuber. I think he resides in Rogers. And he used to do like videos at Devil's Den. And then we had this crazy murder. And now nobody wants to go to Devil's Den anymore. Why? Place is awesome. I've never been. You won't see my Creole ass camping. I don't. Not gonna be out there. But that was before the murder. Why are you afraid? Every Arkansas, I would say probably 99% of the people that camp at Devil's Den is strapped. What? Y'all go back camping? Okay. But it's crazy sad. Devil's Den is a staple. A staple. Fat Bottoms Cupcakes. Ah, it's a great song too. Fat Bottom Girls, you make them rocket world go round. Tell them, Jacob, you coming heat. You got that heat. So that's what I'm saying, Donkey. Like, yeah, well, it's crazy, dude. You want to know what's crazy? So on the LSU channel, when people figure out that I'm from Arkansas, it is nuts how many LSU folk hunt in Arkansas. They got camps. There's a lot of LSU fans. They go up to Stuttgart. In fact, Brett Helms, one of LSU's best centers ever, was from Stuttgart. But I'm not going camping. Look at Jacob. That's a good headshot too, man. I don't know if it's better than JD Hoss. Ugh. God, what a day, dude. What a freaking day. I would have done whatever it took, though, to get Eric Moore, so we'll see. This live stream got kind of wild, man. Had someone in the middle calling me out. That's good. I like it, man. Come camp. Jacob told me to come camp. Where are we going, Jacob? Where are we going? Oh, man. Here's the thing about any trip I go on. The food just has to be good. That's the only thing I care about. Okay, I'm a chubby guy. PJ, what's good? Who is Arkansas going after? All right. So here's what I need to do. Here's what I need you to do. Type Y for yes, type in for no if you want me to continue to do Arkansas live streams for the search. Okay. I enjoyed this so much I had to push my LSU live stream. My actual show that feeds my family, I had to push it back just a little bit because I've enjoyed this. Okay. So what I need from you guys to return the favor, because I like it when fans mesh. Ask Amacat, who's in here. You should join my LSU channel. I'm serious. Now, we'll be live on Power Hour LSU. It's just like Power Hour SEC. You'll learn more about the Lane Kiffin search. I got a few extra nuggets involving that. Okay. Now, if I do ask one thing, please join my YouTube membership community. All right, there's a little join button down there. It's only like $2.99 a month. It's either $2.99 or $3.99 a month. That's a 7-Eleven Slurpee. As you guys could see, I actually didn't have the right bottom scroll. I only have one partner for my Arkansas content. Sequoia Dental. All right, Northwest Arkansas. If you're in the need of a real dentist, this is my lifelong best friend. Went to preschool together. William Wilson and his staff will get your teeth right. And I know that there is someone here that needs to get their teeth right. You know what fan base you are. Okay? Get those yellow brick roads fixed with my friend William Wilson at Sequoia Dental and SequoiaDental.com. Book your damn appointment today. Book it today. Don't even think about it. Book it right now. Will get you right. In fact, you want to know a funny story about Will Wilson? He and I went to Arkansas LSU in 2010, the late Ryan Mallett game. And I remember him catching some sugar cubes after that went like the Sugar Bowl for you. And I got him a press pass. He sat next to me in the press box. That's how close we are. And I remember Joe Nichols saying the best national anthem I've ever heard before the game. Yeah, the same Joe Nichols who sang "Tequila Makes Her Clothes Fall Off." So please hit the join button. And Will's my only partner, so I don't have like a whole lot of like big advertisers. Even though I've tried to get Saracen. I don't know why Saracen don't want to team up with the Power. I can get some people betting on sports. Philip said, "What did I walk into?" What's up, Phil? Oh, Phil. Okay, what's good, bro? All right, we'll be live over on the LSU channel here in just a moment. My final Arkansas prediction for this evening. The wildest thing today, though, is Marshall Faulk is now the new coach at Southern. Tell you, man, HBCU football is on the uptick. Shout out UAPB. Okay. Ooh, got some bad LSU news. Okay. So this is from Kevin. Let me make sure I get this. This is let's go here. Kev O'Donnell. Let me see if this is actually. Kev. Oh. Okay. All right. So this does look like an official. This is an official Florida reporter. Okay. And I feel for Trey Schapp. I know I've met Trey a few times. I have confirmed USF head coach Alex Golesh has not agreed to take the Arkansas job. He just addressed his USF team and said he's been approached by some schools. He'll make his decision this weekend after discussing with his family. Whew. All right. So he's not accepted the job. All right. And when you provide specificity like this, yeah, it could change it like an instant, but he will make its decision this weekend after discuss. So why would Shab put his credibility on the line like this? Says Big A 5774. All right. So I do have a journalism degree. All right. I do not do insider stuff for this reason. So I thought it was going to be Womack. All right. I'll say this with my whole heart. Someone that I trust, it's not an Arkansas guy, but works at a major college football institution. I'll leave it like that. And he's been pretty spot on with a lot of this. He said it was going to be Womack. And the only people I told was like my Arkansas group chat. That's it. I would never like try to break something like that. And the reason for that is because these coaches make instant decisions. It honestly is just that simple. Golesh could have easily said, I'm taking it. I agree to it. Even sign a memorandum of understanding, an MOU. But that shit gets torn up all the time, y'all. I mean, it really does. And with a lot of these rumors with this coach interested in this job and all of that, you would be shocked how many of these are actually somewhat accurate that don't come to fruition. All right. So here was the biggest one: Lincoln Riley to LSU. All right. There was some real truth to it. Now, I never actually ran it, and it's a long story how I got involved in that in a minor way. But it's just above me, basically. Like, you should really only follow like the big national insiders because more often than not, they're going to be correct. Now, I will say this: Trey Schapp is a great media guy, and once again, he very well could have agreed to doing this very thing, but people back out. They do it all the time. You've also got to keep this in mind with this, and this was told to me by someone that works close to a general manager at a big P4 school. One thing that makes all of this so hard is this is all happening during the season. All right, think about how many lives are at stake here during the season. Like, I want you to really think about that. And those livelihoods are all decided based on one person's decision. That's it. One person. So we're not even talking about the head coach. We're talking about the head coach's family. We're talking about all his assistant coaches. If those assistant coaches want to come with you, or could they potentially get the job that you're leaving behind? Then, of course, you think about all your recruits. Signing day's around the corner. Then you think about the transfer portal. Do I have enough slots to get the guys from here that I want to come over here? Then, of course, you have all the extra staff, training staff, all those different things. And guess what? You still got to coach actual games. Not only games, the highest leverage games of the season. Okay? and look, like you're repping the best area code, baby. The 870. Y'all don't know about the 870, baby. 870. Let's go. If you're not from the 870, don't come at me with this 225 mess. The 870 is a utopia. A utopia of Dollar Generals and Cankles. That's the 870, baby. Dude, I mean, you coming in hot. YBK 870. I like it. I like it. All right, y'all. I do have to skedaddle. I'm getting ready to fire up my LSU channel. Okay? If y'all want to come hang out, come on. My life is miserable right now. Miserable. Okay? My favorite team, my favorite team outside of LSU is my Pelicans. And we suck. And then I have Liverpool Football Club, which is more important than any of this. We're not good this year. So there's a link right there. It's in the YouTube chat. Go to Power Hour LSU on YouTube. We're firing it up right now. Big thanks to all our super chatters. Football. Donkey Burger Bandit, thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon, okay? It is Power Hour SEC. Boom. Tonight we are doing, we're doing some Detroit style pizza on Thanksgiving Eve. Let's freaking go, baby.